Hello and good morning, Kathryn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good morning.
Man, congratulations to you and National Geographic Kids for doing it again. I've always loved watching young adults and the little ones just go through these books and just look at the pictures, study the stories, and learn something. I mean, you're so connected to that young imagination.
Oh yeah, that is great to hear. I feel like a kid when I read these books because I'm learning so much, and yeah, that's what we do it for, to get kids really curious and excited about the world.
You really do bring up a great point there because, I mean, as an adult, I feel like a kid again. I mean, I go through the books. I put my hands on those pages and sit there and try to envision everything that's taking place. For instance, like one of them being a prehistoric shark. What did one look like? I mean, we've seen elephants out of that way, the mammoth and everything, but a prehistoric shark.
Yeah, I mean, prehistoric sharks, there were a bunch of different ones. They've been around for a really, really long time. There's the classic megalodon, which people love, and that looks a lot like modern sharks, but it's absolutely gigantic, just super huge. Some prehistoric sharks look more like eels. They were really skinny and weird.
Really?
And there's one in the book that we have an illustration of, and it has a iron board looking top fin.
And isn't it fascinating how evolution has changed them? And it's one of those where it opens up your eyes, but at the same time, your heart is just filled with information that you can carry forward.
Yeah, it's really cool. There are so many different kinds of modern sharks. We hear a lot about the great whites and the bull sharks and the tiger sharks, but there are just so many different ones.
Well, how about the glow-in-the-dark shark? I've never even heard of this until I picked up the book.
Yeah, there's a few sharks that glow, and one of them that's really cool, the ninja lantern shark, which is just an awesome name, and it is exactly what it sounds like. The lantern shark, it like emits this light glow, so the ocean has is a dim light, and so by glowing, the shark actually blends in more with the water, and so it's able to sneak up on its prey. So it's called the ninja lantern shark. It's sneaky and it glows, so it's a really good name for the shark.
The book that we're talking about is Weird But True Sharks. They're so mysterious even today. Why is it? Or do we as humans make them mysterious because we love that mystique?
I think that's definitely part of it. Sharks have been really popular in movies. We're afraid of them. They do live in the ocean, so they live in a world that we're not really part of, and that adds to the mystery. But also a lot of them, even though we hear a lot about, shark attacks at the beach and stuff, a lot of sharks don't live near people. We don't encounter them very often. There's one called the Greenland shark that lives in very, very, very cold waters, and these sharks can live to be over 200 years old. Some scientists estimate that they're 500 years old, in fact, which is really, really long time for something to be on Earth. And they swim really, really slowly, and they're just very rare to encounter.
Yeah, that shark that can live up to 200 years old, is it a loner shark? In other words, is it by itself? Because I can't imagine being 200 years old and having relationships with family members.
I believe so. I mean, it's just a totally different way of existing on Earth than what people are used to. I mean, they don't become, adult, like fully adults, until they're 150 years old.
What?
So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, being the editor of Weird But True Sharks, that means that you're in control of the rhythm and flow of this. What was it like to do the layout for it?
Yeah, so I work with designers and photo editors who work on the visuals with me, but you're right, a lot of it is, it's my job to decide kind of which facts go in the book, and then to say, okay, that's not weird enough, or we need another fact about shark teeth and another fact about sharks in pop culture, things like that. So it's a balancing act. The book is a hodgepodge, so the idea is you open up to any page and you get a random fact that is just really, really exciting. So I think of myself sometimes editing this book, because I work with writers and researchers, it's like the weird police, and my job is partly just to say I want a weirder fact. I know you can get me something weirder, so that's a lot of my experience of editing our weird but true books.
I would love to see the team and in the way that to see how you guys all work together. I just picture this gigantic office where everybody gets together for a board meeting, and then you go out and do your individualisms, and then everybody meets back in the middle and you put it all back together. Anything like that, or am I just dreaming?
I mean, it's kind of like that. We have some people who work, so we're at National Geographic headquarters in Washington, D.C., and I have a lot of colleagues who work here, and then other people who work around the country, some people who work around the world, and we work together on a team. Everybody who works at National Geographic Kids is the nicest person you've ever met. It is a lovely environment, and they're very smart as well.
You were talking about shark teeth. Well, what about the whale shark with teeth around its eyes? Whoa! I don't understand.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite facts. Yeah, whale sharks don't have eyelids, so what they have to protect their eyeballs while they're swimming is what's called dermal denticles, which is just tiny teeth that cover their eyes. Yeah, it's very, very weird and kind of just like bizarre to look at images of. This is a fact that I had to fact check a bunch of times just because it was so weird that I didn't believe it was true, but it is.
Speaking of shark eyes, they don't blink. Whoa, man, I can't imagine living life without blinking or even going to sleep with open eyes.
Right. Yeah, so sharks, all the different species of sharks have such different ways of doing things. But yeah, they don't blink in the way humans do. Part of that is just because they live in the water and their eyes are moist because of that all the time. But they do have different ways of protecting their eyes. So they can close their eyes some part of the way to protect them while they're eating or fighting another animal or another shark. Some sharks have like a clear membrane over their eyes so they can see through their eyelids. And then some, like the whale shark, they don't have eyelids at all. The great white shark has no eyelids, and it rolls its eyes into the back of its head when it's like attacking something to protect its eyes. And there's some pretty bizarre images of that.
So do sharks feel love, or do they feel like that we don't need love? I'm just gonna just take over the ocean.
I really cannot speak to shark love. I know that they have some, they're loners a lot of the time. They live alone, but there are some instances of them helping each other out and hunting together and some social behaviors.
Now, personally, what have you learned that was an oh wow moment where you just sat back in your chair and you went, oh wow.
So this is everything in this book is weird, but some sharks have eggs that hatch inside of their body. So like the mother shark has baby sharks inside of her body, and those sharks sometimes will start fighting with each other inside of their mother's body. So there's some baby sharks that fight each other in the womb. So they're really getting an early start.
Wow.
being top predators.
Ooh. All right, National Geographic Kids has always been very connected to the little ones, especially when it comes to the website. Where can they go to find out more about the book, about sharks, about you, everybody?
Yeah, so you can find the book anywhere books are sold, so online retailers and bookstores. We've got the bright yellow border, bright yellow spine, so you can't miss the books. And you can also go to kids.nationalgeographic.com and learn about sharks and tons of other animals and watch videos and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Absolutely. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
I'd love to.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
All right. Thanks so much.